In the beginning, everything began. The book of Genesis is the foundation of the Bible, a story of creation, sin, grace, and promise. It introduces the God of the universe, his relationship with humanity, and the birth of a chosen people through whom the world would be blessed. Let's explore Genesis, the book of beginnings. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God creates everything in 6 days. Day 1, light and darkness. Day 2, sky and waters. Day 3, land and vegetation. Day 4, sun, moon, and stars. Day 5, birds and sea creatures. Day 6, land animals. And finally, humanity. He creates Adam from dust and Eve from Adam's rib. Together they live in the Garden of Eden, in perfect fellowship with God. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. It is not good for man to be alone. Everything was declared very good. This is God's design: order, beauty, and relationship. In Genesis chapter 3, temptation enters the garden in the form of a serpent. Satan deceives Eve into eating the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. Adam follows. Sin enters the world. They hide from God, ashamed. Their perfect fellowship is broken. Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. She took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. He will crush your head. You will strike his heel. The first prophecy of Jesus. They are banished from Eden, but God clothes them. Even in judgment, he offers mercy. Cain and Abel, their sons, reflect this brokenness. Cain murders Abel in jealousy. Sin spreads through generations. But so does God's grace. The world becomes violent and corrupt, but one man, Noah, finds favor in God's eyes. God tells him to build an ark. A flood will wash the earth clean. Noah obeys. He builds the ark, enters with his family and the animals. Rain falls for 40 days and 40 nights. All life outside the ark is lost. When the flood ends, Noah builds an altar. God makes a covenant. Genesis chapter 9, verse 13. I have set my rainbow in the clouds. The rainbow is God's promise never to destroy the world by flood again. Humanity grows, and with it, pride. People try to build a tower to reach the heavens, to make a name for themselves. God confuses their language, and they scatter. The world divides into nations and languages. Genesis chapter 11, verse 9. That is why it was called Babel. It's a warning. Without God, unity leads to pride, and pride leads to downfall. God now begins a new plan through a man named Abram. Genesis chapter 12, verse 2 to 3. I will make you into a great nation, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. Abraham obeys and journeys to Canaan, though childless for decades. He believes God's promise of descendants. God changes his name from Abram to Abraham, and Sarai to Sarah. At age 100, they finally have a son, Isaac, the child of promise. God tests Abraham, asking him to sacrifice Isaac, but he provides a ram. Genesis chapter 22, verse 14. On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided. This moment foreshadows the future sacrifice of Christ. Isaac grows up and marries Rebekah. They have twins, Jacob and Esau. Though Esau is older, Jacob deceives him and receives the blessing. Jacob flees and later wrestles with God, literally. Genesis chapter 32, verse 28. Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel. Jacob becomes the father of 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. Even through deceit, God's plan moves forward. Jacob's favorite son, Joseph, is gifted. with dreams and vision. His brothers are jealous. They sell him into slavery in Egypt, falsely accused. Joseph is imprisoned, but God is with him. Eventually, Joseph rises to power, interpreting Pharaoh's dreams. He saves Egypt and his own family from famine. Genesis chapter 50 verse 20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Joseph forgives his brothers. The story ends not in tragedy but redemption. Genesis begins with a garden and ends in a coffin in Egypt. But it's not the end. It's the beginning of God's unfolding plan. From Adam to Abraham, from the fall to the promise. Genesis shows us who God is, why we need him, and how his plan to save us started long before we were born. Stay with us as we move to Exodus, where God calls a nation out of slavery into freedom.
The heavens, you set the night. The earth was empty, void and bare, but you were there. You were there. You are the God who made it all, from sky to sea, from great to small. You breathe in dust, we come alive. You walk with us, you never hide. You gave us gardens, gave us breath, a love that never feared our death. Though we fell and turned away, still you loved us anyway. You are the God who made it all, from sky to sea, from great to small. You breathe in dust, we come alive. You walk with us, you never hide. From the start you had a plan, redemption written by your hand. Every moment you remain, forever good, forever late. From the start you had a plan, redemption written by your hand. Every moment you remain, forever good, forever right. You are the God who made it all, from sky to sea, from great to small. called a man to leave his land with nothing but a promise in his hand. You said, I'll make you great and known. You walk by faith, not sight alone. You're the God of promise, God of grace, faithful in every time and place. What you began, you see it through. Forever faithful, forever true.
The stars you placed across the sky, you said your children will multiply.
Through every doubt and every test,